Clark County's 8th District Judicial Court and the Las Vegas Township Justice Court are located here at the Regional Justice Center. Even in our challenging economic times, crime is definitely not in recession. I sat down recently with Chief Justices Ann Zimmerman and Art Ritchie to learn more about the court system and their plans for 2010. Judge Ritchie, the 8th Judicial District Court, predictably, of course, it's the largest court in Nevada. What are some of the 43 district court judges, some 90,000 criminal and civil cases? Just kind of explain what your court is responsible for.
Well, our court is responsible for, as you said, the felony trials and also all the civil cases that have been filed, some 28,000 or so scheduled for this year. We handle specialized dockets such as probate. We handle all family matters. As you know, we have 18 judges that handle family matters, including adoptions, divorce, custody, abuse and neglect of children, juvenile delinquency. So I've been on the bench a little over 10 years, and I'm a family division judge. My duties have expanded for at least for this year and next as the chief judge here, but I have handled the civil domestic calendar as well as other duties this year.
Judge Zimmerman, Las Vegas Township Justice Court, 500,000 cases a year almost, 12 justices?
Yes.
Civil, criminal, and traffic. Kind of give me a breakdown of what type of cases you handle different from district court and just what you're responsible for.
Las Vegas Justice Court handles criminal preliminary hearings, felony preliminary hearings, misdemeanor trials, civil actions up to $10,000, small claims up to $5,000, landlord-tenant evictions, and traffic.
Given our tough economic times, you have some tough administrative decisions to handle yourself and your executive committees and everyone here in the courthouse.
Just a flood of evictions. That's been the biggest increase we've seen. I've also noticed an increase in domestic violence cases, probably due to the economic stress that a lot of people are under.
The drug court has been in place for, what, more than 15 years? Judge Lehman,
Judge Lehman started that a number of years ago.
And at that time, we were one of a handful of courts that...
I think we're one of the first 5 in the country.
And now at the same time, we're adding on to, we've had a successful DUI court.
Well, the purpose of the DUI courts and the drug courts are, first of all, to assist the participants in the drug court with dealing with those substance issues. If we can get them help, then they're not going to return to the criminal justice system. It also saves money because they're not being incarcerated at the Clark County Detention Center. So that's a savings to the taxpayers too. It's much less expensive to treat them than to incarcerate them.
For any of us that aren't attorneys, anytime you come into the legal system, it's a very scary, it's quite a daunting, it's a daunting system, I know. So again, here in Clark County, you're also getting set to fire up your civil law SelfHelp Center. Talk a little bit about that, if you would, Judge.
Very excited about this program. It's in cooperation with the 8th Judicial District Court, along with all the outlying justice courts and Las Vegas Justice Court. It's going to be staffed by Legal Aid of Southern Nevada. People are going to be able to come in and get information about the different court processes they might be going through. It's going to be a huge boon to the landlord-tenant cases and the small claims, and most importantly, the foreclosure cases.
When you say help, is there the necessary paperwork? Are there paralegals or attorneys at their disposal, or that at least help in what kind of baby step you through the process?
There's an attorney on staff, and there will be also staff members that can also assist the people.
Efiling is something that's going to become mandatory here in Clark County, and for us folks that aren't in the legal profession at all, to me it's pretty daunting. You see an attorney, he's got scads and scads, stacks of papers. Is that going to eliminate that? How is that going to help the streamline in the court? How is that going to help the taxpayers?
The e-filing simply is how we transfer the document to the actual file. We've been paperless for a couple of years in the family division, and we're paperless here. And judges and lawyers can actually review the files on a computer. Now, e-filing is going to be mandatory next year. What that will do is it'll free up the space for renovation where our file room is. And incidentally, I would like to tell you that just this past week, we got a certificate of occupancy on the expansion of the family division. We got 6 judges this past legislative session that started this year. The hearing rooms in the family division, the 4 courtrooms, were built where the files used to be there. We're working on plans to renovate existing space, which will be a tremendous savings, I believe, in that we won't have to go out and lease space or build other buildings. We're going to renovate the 3rd and 4th floor of the Regional Justice Center. The third floor is accessible by escalators, and so we'll have 8 courtrooms on that floor. And where our file room is on the 4th floor, we're going to renovate that, and that will be office space rather than holding the files. I would like to take this opportunity to really thank both county management and the county commission for helping us get paperless.
How is this going to save the taxpayers money?
Well, it saves the taxpayers money by having less folks have to manage the paperwork. When we receive a paper document, we actually have to image it and have it directed to the file. E-filing directs it to the file automatically without having to handle it. This results in more efficiency because it doesn't take any time. We literally receive the document to the assigned file within seconds as opposed to days.
The e-filing, mandatory e-filing coming on board, how is that going to help you folks over in your court systems?
Well, district court's ahead of us in that regard, but Justice Court just took the steps necessary to convert from one civil case management system that doesn't provide for e-filing to a new one that will provide for e-filing. There's about 80% of the civil cases that are filed in Las Vegas Justice Court are filed by 4 to 5 law firms. So for them to be able to sit in their office and e-file these cases and not bring in boxes and boxes of documents like they do on a daily basis is going to be a huge boon.
Judge, you've talked about the number of new judges that are going to be coming on board in the next year. How did these judges come about, these actual physical positions?
The bill creating the new positions in 2011 wasn't signed until the end of the session. By August, we had already had meetings with the board and with county management and real property management to work up the basic plans and to have that plan accepted. 3 weeks ago, I was in front of the board to give them a report and tell them what we planned on doing. And we're already having weekly meetings every Tuesday with real property management to talk about the logistics of how we would get this on. I'm very thrilled and thankful for both the board and county management and real property management for the work they've already done, and we'll be working very hard to get these completed as soon as possible.
Another thing that we've done this year as far as what we've accomplished in traffic is used to take about 4 trips to the traffic department to resolve your traffic ticket. And now we're down to 1. So we've really streamlined the process down there. People are able to pay their traffic tickets online. So we're just trying to make it a better experience for people when they walk in the courthouse, because most people who walk in the courthouse aren't happy to be here in the first place.